Hello and welcome on Thomas Geiger Car. Today with the brand new Volkswagen Polo, the 6th generation of the second most successful car in the Volkswagen brand. A car that claims to tear down the borders between the segments and to make technology available that was used in the higher segments before. A car that makes the Golf obsolete and might fit in your everyday life as better as ever. At least that's what Volkswagen promises. If they're keeping their promise and if the car really is as good as they tell, that's what we're gonna find out here on our test drive at Thomas Geiger Car. For sure you can feel a difference when you sit behind the wheel of the new Polo, but the biggest benefit of the new size and the change into the MQB architecture could be recognized from the rear seat. Even if the car is still not a proper and comfortable 5-seater, now you can sit with 4 adults very comfortable. So 2 people on the back seat due to the increased wheelbase and the increased leg space now isn't a problem at all, and you can drive for hours and hours without any complaints. The shape of the new Polo has just evolved a little. You can easily recognize him with the new LED headlights. You see more sharp, crisp and precise lines and some more tension in the panels. But something that really changed dramatically is the size of the car, because wheelbase and length grew at about 10 centimeters and now it's 4.05 meters long. That's a big step, especially when you're inside the vehicle. For sure, the new Polo is not as agile and sporty as, for example, the Ford Fiesta, but due to the increased wheelbase, it is driving more relaxed, more mature, more grown-up than ever. Especially on higher speeds on the Autobahn, it more feels like a way bigger car than it was before. What also helps is that you got all the driver assistance systems from the Golf. You got an adaptive cruise control that keeps the distance. You got lane departure and lane keeping assistance. And you got even the automatic parking system that helps you to get into the tightest parking spots. Even bigger than on the rear seat, the benefit is in the trunk, because cargo volume grew at about 25%, and now the trunk holds 351 liters of luggage. Another proof that the Polo isn't a small car anymore. It is an everyday car with the capabilities to hold anything you need during your day. Even after the emission crisis, the diesel will probably be the most important engine in Central Europe. But in the rest of the world, Volkswagen is offering a broad variety of petrol engines. Starting from a 3-cylinder 1 liter with 65 horsepower, ranging up to the Polo GTI with a 2 liter that delivers 200 horsepower and is bringing lots of fun, I guess. Something that's missing at the moment is any alternative propulsion engines. In Europe you will get a version with CNG that probably could come to China as well, but there is nothing with electrification. No hybrid, no plug-in, no electrical engine. Which is not because Volkswagen can't deliver. They have proven in the Golf that they can offer all, and the platform is the same, so it's easy to adopt. But since the costs are high and the customers are very price sensitive in this segment, Volkswagen says as long as we don't need to, we won't offer it. While the exterior design is just an evolution, the cockpit is really a revolution. Not only because you have never seen a Polo as colorful and as fancy as the 6th generation. No, it's more because they implemented really lots of high tech, as you know it from the Golf. In some versions you'll get the active info display, which means you got a full TFT screen instead of the analog instruments, and especially you got the big touch screen here on the side. That is not only beautiful, it's also working perfectly because the menus pop up when you approach it, and then you can easily choose. You can scroll. That's something that's really helpful and makes life very easy and lets the Polo look very modern. Thank you for joining me on that first test drive with the brand new Volkswagen Polo. Even with the more colorful interior and the crisper body lines, it's definitely not the most beautiful car in its segment. Not a sexy type of vehicle that makes you turn your head around. And even if you can get it with a 200 horsepower GTI engine in the near future, it's also not the most sporty, most aggressive, most agile vehicle. But with all the technology and the driver assistance systems from the MQB architecture, it's definitely one of the most mature vehicles in its segment. And it gets you as close to the Volkswagen Golf as you can imagine. So good for the future Polo buyer, but there is no need to buy a Golf anymore. And that makes the Polo, for me, one of the biggest player in the small car segment of the future. Thank you, tschüss and bye-bye.